Welcome to my channel. On this channel I will be talking about my life with a disability called Developmental Language Disorder, also known as DLD. I am not a professional in the area, so basically it will be a personal view of the condition. See the subscribe button? Please use it as it will helps me. And why don't you ring the notification bell as well? That will mean that you will get a notification every time I post a new video. If you have been here before, then welcome back. As this is gonna be a long video, let's get straight into this week's video. This week I will be talking to you about the do's and the don'ts when you meet someone like me. They are only guidelines, but they are essential to making someone with DLD life a lot more easier than it would be. So further ado, let's get started with the countdown from 10 to 1. Number 10. Don't interrupt them. If you interrupt them because they are speaking too slowly or not answering right away, you will put them off and lose their train of thought. We will always get there, but it just takes a bit of time, so please be patient. Number 9. Do not finish off their sentences. This is a pet hate of mine. Why finish off their sentences? Are you a mind reader? Do you actually know what we want to say? If you answered no to these last questions, then please continue. So please continue down that road. If I answered to help you out to the first question, then guess what? You are not helping. But again, we will get there in time. This is probably the most frustrating one out of these guidelines, and yet people still don't even do it when we have said not to. Number 8. Don't help finding the words. If we get stuck on a word, we will ask for help, or we will find another word that is similar to it. If you give us a word in the place of the word we are stuck on, it's wrong 90% of the time. So let us try to think of it. And if we get stuck, we will ask. And by then, by all means, you can help. We will usually tell you what that word means. Then you can say, for example, "Oh, you mean duck, don't you?" And we can say yes or no to it. If it is a no, we either have thought of it because your explanation has triggered that word to come to the surface, or we have given you a further definition. Number 7. don't ignore us. Like everyone, ignoring someone is very rude, but ignoring someone with DLD is a road to disaster. There are some people who can chat for England, but even they shouldn't be ignored. We have had several years in our early part of our lives where we weren't able to talk due to due to having DLD. When we start learning to talk through speech therapy, it has given us a bunch of words to learn. So when you ignore us, does that give us the ability to remember those words? Unfortunately, not. When someone learns, they usually bounce off sorry, my mic is charging and it fell off. So let's go back. When someone learns, they usually bounce off what they learnt to someone else. And that's what we do when we are speaking. Number 6. Don't think we are thick or mentally retarded. So we speak slower than you. Why is that a problem? There are a lot of us who are intelligent. I've known classmates with a DLD who are ace at maths, and yet there are people who can't even look at maths. So what makes us thick or mentally retarded? There isn't anything about us that does. We may speak slower than you. We may take longer to learn something about than you. But at the end of that day, whatever we do, we will get there in the end. Number 5. We're halfway through this countdown. Respect our privacy. And no, this doesn't mean technology privacy or anything like that. With our brains working a lot faster than anyone else, we can get exhausted as we concentrate, translate, and produce the language that we have learned, or either from talking to, or from someone talking to us, or replying to that person. We are spending all day collating everything we learn in our brains into a sensible order, and at the same time making our conversations while trying to slow our brains down to get the words out in order. At times we need some downtime to recharge. So if we ask for some alone time, please respect it. Number 4, don't expect that we understand everything. The problem with the DLD that we face is that we do not understand everything. If you have a child in a school, do not under any circumstances expect that he or she has understood everything. This goes with the same with college or university. Ask them questions to see if we understood. Not questions like, Joe, do you understand what happens when two worlds collide? Because it is more than likely we will say, yes, we do, I do. Go further into the question. Test the knowledge on that topic. Number 3, don't expect that we want to be controlled. There are many areas of our personalities that we cannot handle. Whether it is the idea of keeping money, keeping our rooms tidy, knowing that we can what we can or can't say, etc. But it doesn't mean that we want to be turned into a robot and be controlled. There may be some of us who have no choice, but a majority of our own lives. But a majority of us are able to live our own lives. So please don't control us because that will irritate us. Number 2, don't change things without notice. In ways, there are some things that are listed under DLD, which is similar to autism, and this is one of them. When someone says, Joe, tomorrow we are going to the zoo at 3 p.m. Don't get to tomorrow and then say, and when Joe says, hey, it's 3 p.m, let's go to the zoo, and then say, sorry Joe, I can't. It may totally destroy Joe because from the first moment you've mentioned it, he would have been looking forward to going to it, and now you just dropped a bomb in his enjoyment and killed it. What would follow would either be a tantrum or a blanket silence from Joe. If it is a blanket silent, you will not be able to get through to him, So don't change an activity without prior notice. If it is the day before the activity, like in the scenario, don't mention the activity. Number 1, the final one. Don't expect that we know everything. Don't expect that we know how to do everything. Do you? As previously mentioned, we take longer to learn things, and so don't expect that we know how to do something straight away. For example, I am learning how to create videos for my YouTube channel. But if I had someone saying, oh, it's easy, you do this, do that other, and there you go, pa-boom. And they said it at the speed of a Category 5 hurricane. Do you honestly think I would know how to do it when they left me? It may take a long time, but be patient. We will find our own way of learning. Whatever you do whatever you want to do to help us. Everyone who has DLD is different, yet these guidelines will apply to quite a lot of them. So after all that, I think this is the best place to end the video. And I am sure that it has gone on long enough. 17 minutes? Yes, it has. But before you switch over to something else, if you haven't got to this point already, then I would like to thank my subscribers from the Mongol Horde Gamers, from the Final Fantasy 14 Online and Lineage 2. I've also opened up a Patreon account and will link the link in the description, and we'll put it on the screen right here. So now all I've got to say is that I hope you have a great week, and I do hope you keep subscribing and pressing that notification bell. Peace out.